welcome to another video of Aqua Paradise. In this video of Aqua Paradise, I am bringing you a video on algae blooms. So, what is an algae bloom and how do I control it? Well, an algae bloom is pretty much what it sounds, algae in the water. I did read up a bit about it having plankton in the water, but mainly I think that's for marine aquariums. So what are the causes of algae blooms? The causes of algae blooms are excess nutrients in the water, such as lighting, trace elements, especially as you have a planted aquarium and you're dosing things like Flourish or Tropica or any of these liquid fertilizers for plants, anything like that. As well, it can be caused by lighting. Now, I've noticed, as you've been in the hobby a long time, you will notice a lot of problems are actually caused by lighting. Now, lighting is a cause of excess nutrients in the water. As well as this, you can actually get this from overfeeding or overstocking your tank, just like a bacterial bloom. So that's a bit about what it is and how it's caused by. So let's go over how to solve it. So this is actually a freshwater video and saltwater video. However, I'm not bringing you a video in front of my freshwater tank because this has actually happened to my freshwater tank. My freshwater tank has had a algae bloom. So this is why I'm bringing you this video as well. And as well, this is linked to another video I'm going to do in a minute on a certain type of product. So steps for to get rid of an algae bloom is to do 50% water changes. Now I actually have a water trough outside, or a water container which stores rainwater, and I've been recently doing my water changing on my freshwater tank with that. I've actually stopped using that now because I think that is where like algae spores are coming in as well, and the water's not 100% pure, is dechlorinated tap water, you see. So now I'm using tap water, obviously dechlorinated, just because I don't use RO or RO-DI water on fresh water. You can use RO, but I would not recommend RO-DI water. So anyway, 50% water changes are absolutely necessary. Now, steps I would take is to do 50% water changes, turn your aquarium lights off completely. Freshwater plants can survive around about 7 days without lighting, so if you're worried about your plants, don't be too concerned, especially as they're low light plants. Don't be concerned at all. Turn your aquarium lights off. It's the best thing. It's either lose all your plants, or lose all your fish in your tank and you have to start over again. So it's worth the risk of turning your aquarium lights off. And especially plants, they can survive a few days without lighting anyway. So the things I'm going to tell you, you need to do them all together, because if you only do one at a time or just do one method, then you're not always going to achieve the great results. So I would recommend a 50% water change, turn your aquarium lights off, feed your fish less, because the more ammonia which is produced, is you're feeding the bacteria with nutrients. Because especially to keep plants, you should know that obviously plants produce waste which are eaten by the plants. It's the same with algae. When your fish give out that waste, that ammonia, they're simply feeding plants, because some plants actually feed on ammonia instead of nitrate. Well, nitrite. No, nitrate. A blonde moment. But anyway, even though I'm not blonde like, and that's probably offended all blonde people, but okay. Anyway, sorry for that, guys. But anyway, reduce lighting. I already said that. turn your aquarium lighting down, especially as you have marine tanks. Algae blooms can actually exist in marine aquariums as well. However, in marine aquarium lighting is quite strong, so the algae in the water will actually grow a lot quicker than freshwater lighting. Now this is something different. Now I've told you to turn your lights off, do 50% water changes, and feed less. And now I'm going to tell you plants. If you really are struggling with the solution, get yourself a floating plant, what floats on the surface, or some sort of moss, or plant. Do your research and find a plant that will soak up nutrients fast, but low lightage. And what I would recommend is getting something like Java fern, or any floating plant, any like surface grown plant. Put it in your aquarium, and that way you don't need to turn your lighting on. However, more plants you add, it'll take up the excess nutrients out of the water, so it simply starves the algae to death, technically. Which will get rid of all the algae, but you'll have loads of plants, but you don't need to worry, because plants are not necessarily a bad thing. And if that doesn't work for you, this is something which I've not done myself yet, and I've not actually heard anyone do, but something which is recommended by a few people is to cover the aquarium in a black roll, or paint the aquarium black and cover it up so everything's black inside. This will definitely eliminate all the algae. You have to do it for like a week or so. It's not really a 24-hour thing. A week should do it. So cover your aquarium completely in black, do 50% water changes every week until it disappears. It's not one of those things which goes overnight. A lot of people try and use water clearers, whether it be an API product, a Tetra product. None of them really work. However, I'm going to do a product review in the next video, which I'm going to film in a moment after this one, of a new product I've got today. Before I actually learnt that my tank was having an algae bloom, I thought it was a bacteria bloom, and I went out there and brought a new product which has come on the market, which is meant to be really good and had really good reviews of clearing water quickly. I think it's 24 hours, don't hold me to that, but I think it's around about there anyway. And but anyway, those real things are a waste of time. You can achieve a crystal clear aquarium again without spending any money at all, by simply just doing water changes and things like this, instead of going out there buying chemicals which don't really work and are not always guaranteed. So there you go, guys. I will keep you updated on the freshwater system and tell you how it's going with the algae bloom. Now this is something which I brought to you guys is because algae blooms are not really told to beginners, and for me, who's a hobbyist which has been doing fish keeping for 6-7 years now, nearly a decade. I've been keeping fish, and I've done aquariums, and I've been a fish keeper. I've gone from freshwater to saltwater. I've kept them all apart from brackish, but there's not really much brackish fish, to be honest. But anyway, this is something new to me. It doesn't matter if you've been in the hobby 50 years or a month or a day. You're always learning things. You're constantly learning, and just because you've been in the hobby 10 years, 50 years, it does not mean you know everything. So that's something what I want to tell you guys, because a lot of beginners say, oh, I wish I was those big people on YouTube and those big fish keepers at the fish stores and stuff, but know everything. no one knows everything. If you were to know everything about freshwater and marine aquariums and fish keeping in general, it would take you longer than what you could live. You can't learn everything. The idea is to basically learn enough to keep your aquarium stable and enjoy the hobby. And a lot of people overthink things and learn too much. Well, not learn too much, but concentrate too much on it. At the end of the day, it's a hobby. It's meant to be enjoyable. Fish keeping is meant to be relaxable. Yes, meant to be. But anyway, people think, hey, let's get a tank, it's relaxing. Not thinking about the water changes, the maintenance, illnesses, diseases. This fish can't go with that fish, this fish can't go with that plant can't, well, that fish can't go with that coral can't go with that fish, blah blah blah, lighting. It's a lot complicated than what people think. But so comment down below what you guys think. As you've had an algae bloom, comment down below how you've dealt with it, so people can see and understand. And don't forget to go to my Facebook page, JP Fish Room. The link is in the description below. As well, don't forget, if you're a marine fish keeper, to check out BB2 Marine. And yeah, so check out BB2 Marine, check out my Facebook page, and comment down below about algae blooms or if you've experienced anything. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please rate, comment and subscribe.